Welcome to the Female Finance Collective podcast, where we encourage women to have open and honest conversations about all things money.
I'm Jen, and I struggled for many years with debt and feeling financially overwhelmed, so I know how frustrating it can be. Now I'm passionate about helping women confidently take control of their personal finances.
And I'm Mary Lee. As a financial planner, I've had the privilege of working with hundreds of women who've transformed their financial lives. I'm excited to share my insights to help you on your financial journey.
Hey, I'm Sybil. I built my dream life traveling the world and creating financial freedom on a teacher's salary. Now I help women take charge of their money and burn brighter in life.
Let's start the money conversation. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk about the gift of financial freedom. I know, and all of us know, that focusing on our finances can feel stressful and it can feel overwhelming. And sometimes when you're really in the thick of it, it's hard to imagine the benefits that you're giving yourself in the long term. So, we want to talk today about the gift that you can give yourself, which is financial freedom, and the benefits of that, and all of the kind of rewards that you will reap from the hard work that you're putting into your finances now in the future. So it's another form of that financial self-care and how you can show your future self a little bit of love by focusing on your finances now. So let's dive in. What are some gifts that you give yourself when you have financial freedom?
I'll start. I find one of the gifts, it happens even at the very beginning. So even if you feel like your finances might be a little messy or you're really unsure of where you stand, just giving that gift of looking at your money, looking at your finances, and figuring out, just where you stand, what your income is, what your debts are, what you own, and what savings you have in place currently. Just getting just those basics in place, it gives you a sense of pride and a sense of confidence because you are starting to slowly take care and take control over your money. And the first step is really gaining awareness of where you are today. And that is going to spark a sense of feeling good about yourself. You're doing the adult things that we all need to do as it relates to finances.
I totally
Absolutely.
agree. I just want to pipe in, Sybil, I don't want to cut you off, but it starts that confidence, right? It's that first step where you start to feel confident because you're like, look at me. I actually know information about my finances that I didn't know yesterday or the day before because I took that first step. And I think confidence is the key, really, to any big thing that you're working on, but particularly when it comes to finances.
Agree, because then we can just stop worrying so much about it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a worrier. And so when I'm not confident about something, I worry more, right? Because I think I feel out of control. So financial freedom really leads to lower stress levels and better mental well-being because you can worry less, you can feel more confident in your decisions because you've taken that step and you've looked at the numbers and you feel like I know where I am and then I can now move forward, right? And so move forward to financial freedom and that's going to help me feel better. And this is financial self-care month, so it's perfect. Perfect time to be talking about this. Yeah. So I mean, you just feel out of control. And so you feeling more in control is what we're trying to get a handle on here for
That's right.
sure.
And there was a time in my life when I never thought I would have financial freedom. And I wouldn't say that right now we have complete financial freedom. I've been pretty honest on here about how we've had to like make some changes financially in our spending and all of that because, life changes. Sometimes unexpected things happen. Thankfully, we kind of planned a little bit for that. So things aren't as stressful as they could be. But to me, financial freedom is when you have your debts paid off, when you have that kind of stockpile or emergency savings ready to go in case something does come up that's unexpected. It's when you're able to spend not wildly, but spend fairly freely without worrying about how much money you've spent on groceries that month, planning for vacations, planning for trips without like scrimping and saving every penny leading up to it. That financial freedom, I think, is hard. I realized after we started talking about it that maybe some people can't even imagine what that is because they're so in the thick of like the paycheck to paycheck, the everyday dollars, like will my, card go through at the grocery store? Will I be able to like buy the clothes that I really need for this? Like, those types of things, the gas for my car. Like sometimes when we're really in the thick of it, it's hard to even imagine what financial freedom is. But that's what it is, right? And the reason it's self-care is because you're eliminating a huge amount of stress because you don't have to worry about your vacation. You can be like, hey, feel like we need a little getaway. Let's get it on the calendar, you know? Hey, I really want to buy this new outfit I see. And that's okay. I don't even have to use my credit card. I'm already, I have that money ready to roll. So it's that feeling of like not even having to worry about money that I think some people have a hard time even imagining what that would be like.
Yeah, and it's peace of mind. And that peace of mind can start, as soon as you're able to shift from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. And even if you have a small emergency fund, like say it's $1,000, you will have this peace of mind that comes with that because you know that if something happens, you have some resources, you have some power that you've been able to create for yourself. And then the peace of mind just continues to build as you have additional savings. And you're able to choose. So you have choice to align your life and your financial decisions together so that if something in your life isn't quite working for you, at least you have the financial resources to make some of those tough decisions that do come along. And some of the fun ones too, like those could be taking a career break or a sabbatical, traveling with your kids for the summer, like some of those cool things that can come along with financial ability and kind of planning ahead. So just definitely more choice and flexibility and peace of mind.
Yeah, I would have never been able to take the leap from working, a 9 to 5 job to being an entrepreneur and author without knowing I had built up some financial freedom, right? I was able to, that's a very stressful move. I was able to take that move because we had built up our future. I knew how much was in our retirement accounts, how much was in our brokerage account to spend on those transition years, et cetera. And then, then we're moving along again, and I have more different stressors. I all of a sudden don't have as much consulting. And so all of a sudden, again, I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit stressed out. But again, really, when, I sink it all in and figure it out, and we have built up financial freedom. And so I think of it a lot of like that future money is there. And in like a situation where I was trying to move from a 9 to 5 to, a gig where I'm making money on my own, I had the buffer and the ability to do that. So even though stress will keep coming back with money in different ways at different times of our lives, you still know that you can keep moving forward because you've planned ahead, like you said, Marilee, the stockpile of our money or our emergency funds is, built up to help you when you need it, right? And then it's like, okay, I use some of my emergency fund. I'm going to need to invest some back into there rather than, our retirement accounts for a little while until I build that up again. And so that helps you build, wealth in the long term. That's how you can make that transition to feeling like, okay, I can think about my future, I can think about now, and then when circumstances change, yes, it's going to be stressful again, and it's going to be manageable because I have a really good grip on my money and for now and for the future and ways to, cope really, because there's always going to be things that come up in our lives. We just don't know what they are yet that are going to affect our finances, our money, um, as well as the ones we do know what they are, like college, like we're going through right now. Like we knew it was coming, we knew it was expensive, tell you we're in it, it's like, wow, it's really expensive. It's an extra 4,400 a month. That's a lot of extra money, right? That we weren't putting forward. Um, so I think
But
this is huge to be talking about for us.
yeah. But the important thing was that you learned the skills that you can apply to the next life change or the
Exactly.
next financial change. And that's really empowering to have those skills. Because sometimes we have, things that come along in life that are completely unexpected. They throw us for a loop, but you can depend on those skills again. They're just they build resilience, and that's the one piece with finances. Like, that's a really good gift you can give to yourself, is to feel resilient. And some of these things we work towards, like when I was leaving corporate to start my own business, that was over 5 years of planning and looking at my finances. Like, it did not happen overnight. So for a lot of these changes, it is a really big gift you're giving to yourself,
Mhm.
because it can take time. But once you achieve something that you've set your mind and money plan to, it makes you feel amazing to achieve that. Like, this is, it's really like amazing life changes that you actually did. Like, you were the ones that took control and made it happen. So that part is just, it's such a huge gift. You'll look back when you're older and just have that sense of pride again and
Yeah.
achievement.
I love that. It's so empowering, right? That like
Yes.
that's the goal. We want women to feel empowered. And when you put in the work and you figure out how to get your debt paid off, how like we have a woman in our community in the Female Finance Collective community right now who was like, "Look, I'm spending more than I'm making and I'm making a good amount of money, so I got to make some shifts here." And she was like, "One at a time, I'm just picking off these credit cards." She was like, committed. So every week she was putting money towards these credit cards and then being like, check, that one's done. And then she committed to the next one. And then she was like, where can I cut back a little spending? And she was like, I'm going to cancel our house cleaner and I'm going to schedule on my own calendar time to clean my house every week. She was like, check, 300 more dollars out of the spent monthly spending. And she really just committed, right? And you can watch her as she shared about her things. Her confidence was growing. She was like,
Mhm.
wait, I did that. I bet I could also do this. And I know that's how it felt for me too. I was like, hold on. I can see my debt going down. I'm actually doing this. What else can I do? And it becomes really empowering and confidence building, and your mindset starts to shift, right? All of those things kind of, I mean, snowball is a debt payoff plan we talk about, but it happens with like our confidence and our feelings and our actions as well, right? It all starts to snowball to the point where we're like, this financial freedom actually is a reality for me. I can tell what it feels like because I know, like I said earlier, there's a time when you can't even fathom what that would be. What is financial freedom? What is being able to just spend money without thinking about it, right? Like that is not a reality for so many people. But once you start creating that for yourself, it is like it's a good feeling, right?
It is. And it's been so cool to watch her share because it's so motivating to me.
Hmm.
We were like exchanging messages about like homemade cleaning products, and it's like it's so great that we're doing this together. That's what this podcast is all about, is like share with us what you're doing too, because it's so motivating to hear stories like that and be like, I'm not the only one. It is worth it. Look at her confidence grow, like you said. Look at her doing it. She's putting in the hard work. She's made the decision and doing it. And it's so helpful to me to keep doing it, right? Because in the past we feel like we got to a good place, maybe right now we're not, and it's like starting all over again. It's like exercising, right? It's so hard to start again. And money is one of those things we have to constantly just keep working on. And if we stop, we have to forgive ourselves and we have to start again. But preventing that like stop is huge, because starting again is harder than to keep going sometimes. So I love that. I love that story. Thanks for sharing that, Jen.
Yeah,
That's
and one
amazing.
of the other areas that can be really fulfilling to our lives and to the legacy we want to build, and the way that you want to be remembered for your efforts during your lifetime, is that having that financial freedom allows you to help others. So it allows you to help your family. It allows you to help charities that are important to you. And so you're doing something that's just beyond, you know, your immediate family. You're really creating the change that you want to see in the world, in your community, all of those things. And that is a stage that feels great, like to be able to have the ability to financially contribute to causes is such a great feeling to work towards and to strive towards. You know, I think it's an important part of finances to think about the, you know, not always just what you're spending, but what you're able to give. And at the beginning, it may just be giving your time, but eventually that could include some financial support as well.
Yes, I love that. And it makes me think that there's like different levels of financial freedom. Like, right, you've hit it for where you need to be at this point in time. Because one of my dreams is to work in another country in schools and just give my time, but also resources, right? And I need to become more financially free. I need to have a bigger budget to be able to do that kind of giving. I'm a big giver now with my time and smaller amounts of money, but it's kind of for me really a motivator to like build up my money even more so I can make a bigger impact by giving. Um, because giving is like we should double down on it because it helps the people we're giving to and it helps ourselves. There's so much research and science behind the act of giving, and it's true with our money just like it is with our time.
Perfect. All right, so let's wrap this up with you giving yourself the gift of progress towards this financial freedom. So, what we encourage you to do is just pick one goal. So, whether it's kind of like what Marilee was saying earlier, just writing it all down so you have a clear picture of where you are, or choosing an amount of money you're going to get saved, or picking a credit card you're going to start paying down. Set one financial goal and give yourself the gift of like success and progress towards that financial freedom. I think that is like a huge thing that you can do for yourself. Do you guys have something to add to that? A little additional action that we can take?
I think that's a great step. And comment, tell us, email us, like tell us what you're working on so we can cheer you on, right? And don't forget to like and follow our podcast, share our podcast with your friends. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week.